All right, so we are currently logged in on the MyXalary's leave module, and currently you can see a calendar displayed on my screen. Okay, so what this is supposed to do is it's supposed to give you a bird's eye view of all pending applications, all active applications. By active application, I mean the employees who are currently on leave. It's supposed to mark that on this calendar for you, and for me to be able to manage some of these, I'll just click on the manage leave button there. So it lands me on this very page. So I can also proceed to filter my application, right, by clicking on this drop down, selecting to view the pending approved or declined requests. And then I can also filter by days, yeah, as far back as 1 year. So I can actually filter my search to, filter. And the beautiful part of the MyXalary application is you can, apply for an employee. Sometimes we have quite a number of reasons why we have the HR manager requesting on behalf of an employee. Of course, the person can be incapacitated, so you can, apply for that employee by using the apply for employee button here. So if I want to also take action on a particular employee's request, I just need to click on the actions button beside the person's name to view the application. So if eventually I get this feedback or this pop-up that says date has passed, okay, I can click on the yes edit option to get me the details of this application by the employee, right? So I can choose to approve the request or decline that request. And of course, there's approval workflow that's set on the leave applications emoji for the management staff, management team here to carry out review on this request made by employees. But before we do that, I'd like to take you through how we're even able to complete the leave setup, how we categorize them, the different types of leave that we have for the different category of leaves for each staff, the different leave types, which employee is eligible to be able to access this particular leave request. So how do I first off create a leave category? There's a button here that says add leave category. I'll just click on that button. Okay, so I can say I'm just going to categorize for my senior managers. I want to create a particular category for them because sometimes we could have those on our senior management team who have more leave or different leave types that are assigned to them or that they are eligible for, and then those on the lower rung or lower cadre, right? Those ones may have less types of leave to, for lack of a better word, right? So I'll just proceed to create the leave category by clicking on this dialog box here. So I'll just type in the name of the leaves. I could just call this senior managers, right? Senior managers. So once I click on the create leave category, this has actually created the category for me. So I'll proceed to now enter a leave type. So we could have different types of leave types. We could have maternity, we could have paternity, we could have annual leave, study leave, and all of that. So it's just for you to now take your time to create the different leave types that you have. So I'll just say, for instance, I'm doing the maternity leave alone. So I'll select the period. My employees can apply for this anytime in the year. So I'll define the period here. So I can say anytime from the first. Well, let me take for instance the second week in January. I'll just say from the 10th of January till say the first day in December. It's just up to you. It's your call to decide when your employees can actually apply for that particular leave. So I enter the number of days that they are eligible to access, or the number of days that they are entitled to. Right, so I'll just say for maternity, you're entitled to. It's just an instance, right? So I'll just say for that, we have 10 days alone. So I'll add this. So I'll then proceed to add my employees to this particular leave type. So I just created one. I'll leave senior managers. I'll view the leave types that are here. So I'll click on the add more leave types. So I can just do or I can just say study leave here. Right, I'll click this. I'll say biannual. So just for me to proceed to now enter, or I could say this is just once. I want this to be once a year. So any leave period I'm selecting, I'll just ensure that I I define the period and enter the number of days that my employees can actually access this leave. So I'll say for this it's just 30 days that you have in the year. So I'll save this as well. Okay, so I've not defined the period yet. I'll go back and say from the 15th day in March to just define the period, and I'll save this. So yeah, I've actually created a leave type. As I have more than one, I have just one leave type here for these senior managers now. So I can proceed to add my employees to this particular leave type. I just clicked on the assign employees now. So the names of all my employees will be displayed there. So it's now up to me to now decide who falls under this category and this leave type. So I could say Adeyemi Bola is entitled to this kind of leave. So once I scroll down, right, and then I click on save, this particular employee on the mobile app will be able to access this leave. You have this displayed on his interface. So all he just needs to do is make requisition or make an application for this, and then every time he does that, or every time any employee at all anytime they do that, all of those requests will be coming under my applications like I displayed earlier on. So on the approval workflow, this actually works like what we have in the payroll module. Okay, so based on the number of users, those who we've actually assigned to be able to make approvals or approve this request. So I can proceed to create my workflow here. So once I just click on create approval levels, currently I have 3 displayed here. There's the supervisor, there's the HR, there's the MD. So I can choose to add more levels if I so desire by clicking on this add more levels button here, right? So I'll enter the level that I want to also add to what I currently have existing on the system by default. But by default on the system, you are not by default it's usually blank, except you are the one now creating a workflow. By default it's supposed to be just one level by default, but if you're choosing to add more levels, sometimes because of the unique and very cumbersome structure some organizations have more than one person doing the review or the approval of this request, right? So you can add more levels if you had more levels, if you have more levels in your organization. If you just want it to be within the confine or the space of the HR manager or the supervisor, you can just also set that. So if I want to add someone else as part of the workflow level, I'll just do let me see, for instance, I'll say GMD. I currently have supervisor, HR, and MD. I just click on the add more levels, and that has been added for me. So as you can see displayed on this page right now, every time my employee puts in an application for leave, right? So it goes through from the first person up until the last person before the request is fully, or the request is approved. I think that's the appropriate word. So yeah, that's all on the leave management module.